I'm finally tired of my mismatched light colors. Yellow light for the incandescents at the top here, and the nice white lights of the LEDs. Right now you're just looking at the parking lamps on the RS. And when I turn on the low beams, there's not much difference, it's still yellow. Of course, if I put on the high beams, then they're both yellow. Now, on the left side, the high beam bulb here is Silver Star, I believe, Ultra. So it's a little bit bluer if you look. If you look from this angle, you probably can see, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, it's a little bit bluer than this one, which is a stock bulb. So several people have installed LED bulbs on their RS, and that usually involves putting some kind of a dust cap on the back, a rubber dust cap, because there's usually a big blob on the end of the back of the H7 LED bulb that has a fan and all of that kind of stuff. So to clear that and to make it some kind of a watertight or weather-tight protection, they put this rubber cap on the back. But to me, that kind of defeats the purpose of the fan, because then all the fan will be doing is circulating the hot air back in that same area. So over the years, these bulbs have progressed such that now they've come up with these H7 LED bulbs that don't have the big blob on the end. Some of them still do, of course, but this one here that I managed to pick up, it claims that it doesn't have the need for that fan at the back, and they've been quite well rated as a matter of fact. I'll put the information up on the screen later on, but let's open the box and see what's inside and see how it compares. I propose to change this out. I have no doubt that it's going to fit and all of that kind of stuff, but my main concern is that it'll throw an error code, and the manufacturer or the seller on Amazon themselves say that if you get an error code, contact them and they'll propose using a decoder. Decoder is another box that you hook up in series, and it should take care of the error code. I don't see any evidence of that being tried on the BMW motorcycles. I see success with those decoders in the cars. So hopefully, if I do need a decoder, it'll work for this. On opening the box, this is exactly how it is. I just peeled off the cellophane, and there's a little bit of an instruction or a user manual, and there are the two bulbs inside, well packaged. So let's pull this out, see how it compares with an H7 bulb. I'll go ahead and pull one of the bulbs out of the bike so that we can have it side by side. You can see there's the Philips H7 that I just pulled from the bike. Flanges are lined up, and the contacts on the new bulb are a little bit longer than the Philips, but you can see essentially they're about the same size, and there is no big fan behind here. I believe there is a little fan in there, okay? So at least that's inside the assembly of the headlamp itself. The Philips was oriented such that the contacts were vertical. So what I mean by that is they were like this, and that's exactly how you've got to install these bulbs here. The new bulb has got to be installed with those electrodes in the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock position. So in other words, they've got to be, let's see if I get my fingers in the shot, I'm using this, they've got to be like that. So if you put them in vertically, you'll have the electrodes in the same position. As you can see, there are tabs on 3 sides. So you can put it any which way you like into your housing, but up and down is the way I'll be installing it. Good. I've installed the low beam H7 over on this side. We're going to turn the bike on now and see if there will be a code. Okay, when you first turn it on, it's not on. Okay, it's on there now. So, looks nice and bright. And it's a good beam pattern on the wall over there. Let's see what the dash says. Code. Can you see that? There's a code. So let's turn the bike on and see if that code changes. The code magically goes away. Okay, everything looks good so far, and the code is gone. Let's turn the bike off. Okay, fine. Let's cycle it back again. We'll turn it back on again and see what happens. Okay, no code. The light is off. Let's start the bike up normally. The light just came on, as you can see, and there's no code. Okay, let's turn the bike off. What I'll do next is I'll turn the bike on, but I won't start it, and then I'll just turn the low beam on, because that's when I got the first code, first and only code. The bike is on, lights are on. I'm going to turn on the low beam. Let's observe. Okay, the low beam should be on now. No code. No code. So, let's go ahead and put in the high beam now and see what happens. Well, the high beam H7 LED from Oxito. The bulb is in, and let's go see if there is any codes now from this. I'm so far encouraged about the low beam. There is a code that came on initially when I put the bulb in and just turned the bike on before actually starting the ignition. And but on starting the ignition, the code went away. And subsequent turning on of the bulb, the low beam, the code didn't come back. However, when I put on the dust cap on the back, again, it cycled through the same thing. The first time I turned it on, the little lamp icon was there, and then subsequent cycling afterwards with the dust cap on of the low beam, the code went away. The little icon went away. So maybe it's just on the border of fooling the CAN bus that there is nothing wrong with the bulb. And you know, so maybe it's on the limit. Now that well, it's a separate circuit, but now that the high beam is on, let's see what happens. I'm gonna turn it. Both beams, both bulbs are in. Turning it on for the first time, and there is a code. Okay, so far so good. I guess we're gonna turn the bike on now and see what happens. Turn the bike on. As you can see, the code went away. Now let's go look at what's going on in front. High beam bulb is not on. We're going to turn it on now and see if the code comes back. There's the high beam. And you can see. And the code is not back. High beam is on, code is not back. High beam is off. Let's do a flash to pass. Okay, the code is not back. Let's turn it off. And we'll cycle back again, on and off, and see if it comes back. Turn the bike back on again. There's the code again. Turn it off. Turn it on. There's the code again. Let's start it up. And the code goes away. Let's see what's on the screen here on the nav 6. The nav 6 usually tells you what the code is. Self-diagnosis is not completed, so that's normal. So it's nothing to do with the bulb. Okay, fine. Turn the bike off. We'll do this one more time. We'll turn it on. No code. So as I suspected, it's probably right on the borderline of acceptability for the CAN bus system. As you know, I don't know the technical details about how the CAN bus system works, but it has to do with levels of voltage in the system. And when you put something in there with a different level of voltage than expected, then it throws a code. Right now, there's no code. Let's switch the lights on just for shits and grins. Okay, so low beam should be on right now. All right, there's low beam. Yep. Let's flick the switch for high beam. High beam is on. High beam is on. As you can see, both of those, maybe you can't see it from the thing because it's so bright. Both of those are in the 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock position, and there's no code. Can you live with that? I think I'm going to give it a try and see. I'll update the video, of course, if anything goes, if it starts throwing a code that won't go away. But for now, I think it's good. So I just took the high beam off, and I'm going to cycle it one more time before I put the dust cap on. Again, no code. So I'm going to turn this off and put the dust cap on, then I'll do one more cycling and see if the code comes back, just because the dust cap is installed. Good, so the dust cap is back on. Let's give it a start. This should make absolutely no difference, but it did with the low beam, and it's doing it again with the high beam. So I wonder if it's because it's been sitting for a while and there's some decay in the process. Let's turn on the ignition. It goes away. Okay? Let's turn it off. Of course, before we turn it off, we just check again. As is normally the case, the low beam is on, right? And turn on the high beam. High beam is on, and there's still no code. Very good. Now I didn't do a before and after shot of the beam pattern on the wall. I guess I should have, but from all the reviews that I've seen so far, the beam pattern is very favorable. It's very similar to the EH7. There's a nice cutoff at the top, and just looking at my wall there, I can't see anything, looking radically different. So we'll see if I get flashed or anything like that. But as you can see, it's in the 9 and 3 o'clock position for the LEDs. So vertically up, which is the correct orientation, like that. Now we've got those parking lamp bulbs there. Those are the only incandescent bulbs that I have in front right now. So what I'll do is I'll wait a while. As you can see, when cycling the lights, the code didn't come back after the initial disturbance, let's say, either installing the bulb or putting the dust cap back on. I'll leave it for a while. I'll go off and do something else now on this bike, and then I'll come back and check in with those bulbs. This is what they offer with regard to a possible CAN bus problem. It says some vehicles equipped with CAN bus system may meet CAN bus problems like light flickering, error warning, etc. Please connect suitable decoder to solve the CAN bus problems. If it doesn't work, you can return for a full refund. So that's good, and they've already contacted me from Amazon and told me, hey, contact them if there are any problems with this. So very, very good customer service on that. Look at question number 3 above. It says bulb works, but the error warning is still on the dash. It might be solved by decoder. We would like to send you a new decoder to solve this problem if you contact us. So it doesn't suggest that you have to pay for the decoder. They will supply a decoder for you. And then it talks about the warranty. We offer a 24-month warranty on products. Please feel free to contact through Amazon message or email us at service@oxito.com. So it seems as though they're willing to stand behind their product, either through the warranty or by supplying you with a decoder. Okay, it's been some time since the bike was sitting, so let's turn it on and see what happens now. No code right now. Let's start up the engine. Low beam just came on, still no code. Let's turn it off. Okay, it's off. So let's turn it back on now. Again, no code. So I think it's, let's flick on the high beam just to see if it starts a code. No code started. Flash to pass. Yeah, that's good. All right, so no code. Let's turn it off. And just for one last time, just to check, let's turn it back on because we turned on the high beam. Let's see if that made a difference. No code. So if you install this bulb or put on the dust cap, you'll get a code. But after that, so far, no code. Let's use the mic for a while now and see if a code develops over time. But that's it for now. Hope you found the video useful. And if you find that you need to get an LED bulb, you might want to try these and see how it works on your bike.
All right, this is the dark road. Very nice. Oh, but he is behind me. Anyway, high beams. Again, no flat spots, or no dark spots, I should say. But he's a good ways back. I don't know if the GoPro's picking it up well, but quite nice. Ooh, look at that. Bright lights are really nice. Just the low beams. Very good. I was a little bit worried because the filament of the H7, the halogen H7, is right at the bottom level, and I'll put a graphic up on the screen to show you what I mean. But the diode on the LED bulb is a little bit higher, I think. It's not lining up center to center. And when you swap out a regular halogen, maybe I'll go straight. When you swap out a regular halogen bulb for an LED, many times the diode is too far forward, and it's not the emission point of the reflector or the focal point of the reflector, and as a result, you don't get a focused beam. And that's whoa, there's some holes there, and that's mainly the problem. This is really nice. Oh yeah, I am very pleased. So if I don't get any flashing from anybody, I'll be totally pleased. But yeah, that's the main problem. That's why you get a lot of glare, because the filament or the diode is in the wrong spot. Right? It's not at the focal point. Okay, here we go. There's a nice dark road. Let's see if I get flashed. So far, so good. None of them flashed me. Okay. All right. All right. High beams. Beautiful, nice and, whoop, dead animal. Nice and smooth, no spots. Very pleased. There were some really nice dark roads that I wanted to go on. But this is good here because this is gonna, I'm getting a lot of oncoming traffic. See if anybody else is gonna flash me. so far so good. Oh, by the way, I don't have any codes. You can see on the dash right now. I don't have any codes, but the codes were the code was coming on when I first turned the ignition on before I started the bike. As soon as I started the bike, and the low beam came on, boom, you know, the code went off. I think this is where I need to be for this road that I want to go on. Yeah.